tonight, before you fall asleep, you'll turn off the light. And for just a second, maybe less, something in you will tense. A tiny pull to get under the covers a little faster. A flick of the eyes toward the dark doorway. You're an adult. You know there's nothing there. And yet some part of you isn't so sure. You are not being childish. You are being ancient. About 75% of children are afraid of the dark, and so are at least 1 in 10 adults, even now, even in a locked house with a phone full of light in their pocket. So why are you afraid of the dark? Why does the absence of light, and nothing else, reach so deep into you? The answer changes everything you think you know about fear, your senses, and how recently you stopped being prey. Let's start with your eyes, because the whole thing begins with what you can't do. You are a daytime animal. Your eyes are built for sunlight, for color, for detail, for distance, and the moment the light goes, all of that collapses. In the dark, you can't see what's 3 feet in front of you. Your single best sense, the one you trust for almost everything, simply switches off. Now think about what that meant for almost all of human history. Your ancestors had no switch to flick back on. When the sun went down, the world didn't dim, it vanished. And they had to survive inside that blindness every single night for hundreds of thousands of years. This wasn't an inconvenience. This was the most dangerous time to be alive. And here's where the fear stops being a feeling and becomes a fact. Because in the dark, you are not the top of the food chain. You are food. In 2011, an ecologist named Craig Packer, who had spent decades studying lions in Tanzania, published something chilling in the journal PLoS ONE. He and his team analyzed thousands of lion attacks on humans, and they found the danger wasn't spread evenly across the day. It spiked sharply in the hours just after sunset, when the light was gone but people were still awake and moving. The dark, specifically, was when the hunting happened. For your ancestors, this was the math of every night. Light meant you could see the threat coming. Dark meant it could see you first. The ones who wandered casually into the night didn't tend to pass on their genes. The ones who felt that cold pull of dread, who stayed by the fire, who startled at a snapped twig, those are the ones who lived. So that flicker of fear you feel at the light switch isn't a flaw. It's an inheritance. Every nervous ancestor who survived the night handed it down, all the way to you. This wasn't weakness. This was the reason you exist. But that raises a harder question. The predators are gone. You know they're gone, so why hasn't the fear gone with them? Why does a dark hallway in a safe home still do this to you? Because of what your brain does with missing information. Fear doesn't actually need a threat. It needs uncertainty. And darkness is pure uncertainty. It's your brain suddenly cut off from its main source of data, sitting in a room it can no longer verify is safe. And your brain does not respond to that gap by relaxing. It responds by filling it. Brain scans show that in low visibility, the amygdala, the alarm center, the part that screams danger before you can think, becomes more active and more easily triggered. With nothing to see, your mind reaches into its oldest files and supplies the threat itself. The shape in the corner, the presence behind you, the sense that you are not alone. You're not afraid of the dark. You're afraid of what your brain insists could be hiding in it. The dark is just the empty screen. Your ancient survival system is the one projecting the monster. And that's the part that should give you chills. The fear was never really about the night. It was about everything that for 100,000 generations used the night to come for us. You carry the memory of that danger in your nervous system, a danger you've personally never faced and never will. We tell children there's nothing to be afraid of in the dark. And we're right, for now, in this house, in this century. But we're also asking them to override 100,000 years of ancestors who were absolutely correctly afraid, who were right to be, who only survived because they were. So tonight, when you turn off the light, and you feel that small, silly pull of dread in a room you know is empty, don't be embarrassed by it. That fear is the oldest part of you. It's the voice of every ancestor who made it to morning, and it kept them alive long enough, in the dark, to one day give you the light.